So as I'm sure you've heard, this guy has found a way to get himself in trouble with the law for good reason, since he was aiding and abetting Trump's attempted insurrection through the back door by asking Georgia officials, Raffensperger to be specific, asking them to do things that were quite illegal in the matter of vote counts. And now he is subpoenaed before a grand jury and he has to deal with it. Now, alone on the Pluto transit, Pluto at the moment, you see it in here, 2022, stationed at 28.5 in the spring, and now it's going backward. Will station again at 26, enters Aquarius briefly next year, but comes back into these late Capricorn degrees, and then goes back into Aquarius again in the spring of 24. But even late in 24, it still comes back briefly into the late Capricorn degrees. And when you look at Graham's chart, this puts it on the other side of this Mars in Capricorn. And so he's looking at a considerable time swath when there is pressure to his Mars. And this kind of thing, in the context of being pursued by the law, is quite problematic, no doubt about it. And then to that you would add that Uranus from Taurus in its transit, you can see it in here, even into the spring of next year, it's opposing this Saturn. So that's another problem that he's in the midst of. And then, going further from that, a Pisces moon, and it's certain to be in Pisces because I don't have a proper time for Lindsey Graham. This chart is for 12 p.m., but he could be born any time between 0 a.m. and 12 p.m. of the next day. This moon is going to be in Pisces regardless. It'll be either close to the beginning of Pisces or somewhere in the middle of Pisces. All of that is going to attract the Saturn transit starting next year in the spring, and depending on how early he's born, it either makes 2023 very Saturnian, or it would be an end, or it would bring it into 2024. That's also not good in the context of the situation he's in. So, if he waits long enough beyond that, then you could ensnare the Mercury in here, which is also in a mutable sign in Gemini. The Saturn will eventually find it, and beyond that, of course, then Saturn will be in Aries, squaring his Cancer planets, but that doesn't happen until 2025, 2026. So even if we just look at the next couple of years, the chart like this, you would say with the Pluto alone, he's got a problem. Now, whether or not he's going to be actually convicted of something or get into major trouble, I would probably reserve judgment on that unless I knew an actual birth time to be a little more sure of where all this falls. But I can tell you pretty much for a fact, this guy is going to be very uncomfortable for a good long time, alone on the fact that Pluto is opposing his Mars the way it is.